Yes, sir. Will Josh Hart be the third All-Star for these New York Knicks? Will Mitchell Robinson be traded, or will he be the move that the Knicks need when he comes back? Will that be the only move? Towns, is his three-point shot compromised? Of course, we'll talk about that Sacramento Kings game. To me, that was definitely a statement game. Salute to the boys for that. Of course, we got to give a big-time salute, New York City salute, to Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, right? Getting that all-star starter nod. And of course, we're going to talk about the power rankings, the Knick of the week, word on the street, and much more on This Week Inside the New York Knicks. Yes, sir. Welcome to This Week Inside the New York Knicks, episode 13 of the 24-25 NBA season. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the objective fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes. Welcome, everybody, to the show that never ends. Literally, we do this podcast all years around, This Week Inside the New York Knicks. And if you don't know about this podcast, we cover the Knicks 365, 7 days a week. You give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks. Action-packed week, man. A lot to talk about. As you can see, I got the topics on the screen to the left or right of me. I can't tell because I'm probably the opposite. But yeah, man, this is one of the better weeks that we've seen all year. We went 3-0 with wins against the Hawks, the Nets, and the Kings. And of course, we'll be covering all the topics between January 20th and the 26th. Honestly, if I do the calendar based on when we do the podcast, this was our first, our rebounding week, because the previous week was our first time we ever went below 500 in a week. We went 1-2 last week. So got to give a big up to the boys for coming back around, getting the job done, doing what they got to do. I'm definitely going to spend some time on that Kings game. And I may even preview tonight's game. And by the way, I will take you up into the game. So I got to give a big time salute. I see some of the minds in the building early and some of the channel members. Salute the Knicks will be champs 25-26. Of course, salute the own Dios in the building early. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, by the way, salute to Buzzer Beater. Oh, by the way, I can't remember who it was. Somebody got confused because I scheduled the Knicks call-up show. The Knicks call-up shows are on Fridays, guys. By the way, salute to you if you was on the Knicks call-up show. It was definitely lit, man. Fridays at 10:45, you gotta be on there. We had Yuri on there. Of course, my man Keith Watkins in the building. We had a couple of people in there. My man Hector from the Bronx. It was lit. It was lit. You gotta check out the replays if you don't get on there live. I know it's late, but hey, a lot of people like to be up late, man. I like the late shows, man. If you guys keep coming, I'll keep doing them. So definitely the Knicks call up show will be Friday, and I'll get more into the schedule later on down the line into the show. Oh, by the way, I just got off the phone with my designer. I got some new merch. I wanted it for today. Merch will be in the building this Friday, so based on what he's been showing me, some of the concepts, I'm hyped, right? It's not done, it's not ready, but it should be ready by Friday, hopefully. What else I want to share with you guys? And the Memphis game tonight, this game tonight will be a doozy. Memphis is a really good team. They are number 5 in offensive rating and defensive rating. And I think they're the only team in the top 5 in both categories. So this should be a battle. Salute to JJP NYC. He says the call-up show was litty. Okay, no doubt. No matter where we live, so we up. That's true. You know what, JJP? You're right. A lot of people be up late, and I got to do more late shows, man. So I do got another late show I'm gonna be doing next week. I'll let you guys know about that a little bit later. But I think we're gonna just jump right into it. Let's jump right into research mode. Pow. So So there we go. And there's some of the topics, of course, that we'll be talking about. But I'm going to start with some of the special highlights. Let me take the topics off. I don't want to distract you guys. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start with some of the special highlights. I'm not sure how many of you guys knew this, but Jalen Brunson, he recorded his 5,000th point as a Knick. Salute to JB. He is now the fastest Knick to reach 5,000 points in 190 games, passing the great Bernard King and Carmelo Anthony, and Carmelo took 191 games. So salute to JB Smooth, the captain, for getting that done. People got on me. Even some people, salute. Was that you, JJP? I think that was you, JJP, when my man Big Dog Talk Sports was in the building, and you was like, you can't tell us how to be Knick fans, right? Because when I said that Brunson was like one of the top Knicks of all time, based off, because I feel like he did the greatest sacrifice in NBA history, and the fact of all the records he broke in his first 2 years. So, you know, he was trying to tell me, Brunson's not one of the top guys. But look, this is another record, another feat that the great JB Smooth has accomplished, man. You got to continue to give this brother a salute. Yeah, I know that was you, J. Salute to JJP, man. That definitely was you. I remember that. But yo, I'm telling you right now, man, Jalen Brunson, he's a special talent, man, and I'm so happy that he's our captain. And I'll show you guys the mugs. Again, by the way, I get into that a little bit later, but I got the Captain 11 merch to commemorate and celebrate the captain, because he deserves it. Of course, like I said, we know that Jalen, if you haven't been living under a rock, right? The major news over the weekend, well, Friday, was Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns becoming the first Knick teammates to be tabbed starters in the Eastern Conference. And we haven't had two starters, not two all-stars. See, a lot of people got it mixed up. They thought that we had two starters for the first time. I mean, two all-stars for the first time. And we we had Chandler and Melo and all these things. No, it wasn't about that. It was about having two starters. We hadn't had two starters ever since 1975. Of course, that was the great Walt Clyde Frazier and Earl of Pearl Monroe. So that's why this was a big deal. So we got to give a big time salute to the captain. And I know we talked about this on both of the Knick call-up shows that we had, but no, we got to take some time to make sure that we give these guys their proper just dues and celebration. Hold on, real quickly. I just got a quick adjustment. I don't want you guys to see it on the screen. Okay, cool. So let me go back into research mode. All right, bet. So let me keep the show moving. I'm gonna be moving a little quick because this is the weekly podcast. We get into all of the hot topics. Let me see. Oh, also too, another thing, we've been pushing the votes every single day. Well, I know I have for sure. And I've been showing people how to vote. I'm not sure how many YouTubers was doing that, but I actually went on there. I showed you how to vote from the phone, and I showed you how to vote on the computer. And so basically, Jalen Brunson, we know Towns was top 3 in voting. He always was getting love since the first tally was calculated. But the lone starting spot in the East, right? It was Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, right? But in the mix was Brunson and the Hornets guard LaMelo Ball. Now, Brunson and Ball wind up finishing with the most fan votes. So Jalen Brunson finished behind LaMelo Ball. I'm not sure how many of you guys knew that. But thanks to us, we made sure we cemented Jalen Brunson's spot in the All-Star game as a starter because we voted. So you got to give a big time salute to us for sure. Let me see. Does a ring put Brunson in the top 100 all time? Hell yeah. When they do the top 100, if Brunson gets a ring, whether he's final MVP or not, I don't think that matters. But for sure, I'm riding with you. Knicks will be champs 25, 26. That he will be on the top 100 list. Let me see what Buzzer Beater talking about. I'm confused. There was a thumbnail saying you supposed to come. Oh yes, Buzzer Beater. My fault. My bad. Like I said earlier in the chat, I scheduled the Knicks call-up show, the number 10 show, but I didn't set the time. So that's why the time popped up yesterday and people thought I was going live yesterday. No. Anytime we do a call-up show from here on out until I tell you guys on the mic, if you hear me come or you see a flyer, right, the call-up show will be Fridays at 10:45. So that was my fault. I made that mistake. I made that mistake. Not to confuse you guys. So the call-up show will be Friday. Let me see. Oh, okay. Just a little fun topic before we get into the serious stuff. Josh Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns trolled Josh Hart. As you guys know, Jalen, Brunson, and Towns are Eagles fans. I know that's not going to ride over with us because most of us are New York fans, so we ride it with New York teams. And of course, both New York teams are trash, so we don't even have no business talking about football right now. But right now, our beloved Knicks, they are fans of the teams that played yesterday. So Josh Hart, he was riding with the Washington Commanders, and they got their butt to up. And so there was some trolling going on. And Brunson tweeted this on X. He said, Josh left before the fourth quarter started. And then Hart, he responded, I have to get home so I can sleep. He said, one of us has to play defense tomorrow. Ooh, that was funny, man. Big salute to the boys trolling. Just to give some lighthearted stuff. I know we're not riding with those teams. We don't care about no damn Commanders, nor do we care about the Eagles, right? Most of us are Giants or Jets fans. Some of you guys are Bills fans too. I'm going to tread lightly on the Bills. Just know I'm a diehard Jets fan. I don't ride with the Bills at all. That to me, even though they play in New York, still an arch nemesis. Let me see. All right. And of course, I need to give another special highlight salute to World Be Free, right? He finally gets his Hall of Fame chance. And if he gets in there, he says it would be a tear-dropping moment. Now, World Be Free goes back a little bit before my time. He was a rookie. It says Free was a Sixers rookie on the fast break in 1975. That's way before my time. Salute to everybody that go back to that time. But this brother right here, he's going to be on the bill. Hopefully he can get in there, right? Of course, he played with the Knicks as well, and he was a combo guard. And so we give him a big time salute. He definitely was moved with tears and happy that he got the opportunity to be mentioned, with the greats. So salute to World Be Free. Hopefully he gets up in there. All right. Let me see. All right, let me keep the show moving. Make sure you guys, all right, so you guys are good in the chat. All right. So let me go to these Kings game. All right, let's talk about the Kings game for a little bit. So big blowout. 143 points was our second highest point total this year. I think the first total, the highest was 144 and 145. Hold on. I can tell you guys. I got my notes over here somewhere. I believe it was 144 and 145. So, the Knicks got the job done blowing out the Kings. And I'm telling you guys right now, this Kings team is not a bad team. They came into the game, they was 10 and 13 in their last 13 games. And they were playing some good basketball before we, kind of wiped the floor with them. Some keys about this game, we improved our home record to 15-8. But also, not just that, we improved our home record to 6-6 against teams that are 500 and above. So salute to us for doing that against the Kings. As I look for the point total, I think the highest point total was 145 or 144. Hold on. Just want to be accurate. Of course, I got my notes here. Am I seeing it? No, 145. Yeah. So when we blew out the Denver Nuggets, I know you guys can't read it, but just to let you know, this is why I stay locked and loaded, because I keep my notes in front of me. But yeah, that was 145 against the Nuggets when we smashed the Nuggets. So, and I think if we got time to talk about the homestand a little bit, the Nuggets is going to be on our heels for that. But definitely the boys did good in this game. I was happy with the defense. I felt like the defense was pretty solid. Even though Malik Monk still had 31 points and they shot 38% from three, but because we shot so well from the field, and I could pull up the box score right quick, because we shot so well from the field, it was like, it didn't even matter. Like, we was just, when the offense flows this well, I mean, the Knicks are just undeniable. They're unbeatable, right? So they shot 48% from the field, 38% from three, right? And we shot 47% from three. If the Knicks is shooting 47% from three, let me tell you right now, when the Knicks shoot greater than 40% from three, their record is 17-4. Very dangerous. It's hard to, if the Knicks are shooting the ball. Also, if the Knicks are moving the ball as well, the 40 assists here, anytime the Knicks get 30 assists or more, they're 17-1. So that's a recipe of disaster for opposing teams. Plus, you add the fact that the Sacramento Kings was a good rebounding team, right? Especially they're good at limiting their opponents' efforts on the glass. The Kings had 38 rebounds, and of course, we were plus 15 on the glass. A team that we think is small. Yes, we need Mitch back, but for us to dominate the glass the way we did against such a good rebounding team, against the best rebounder in basketball, Sabonis, to me was very impressive. By the way, our record when we dominate the defensive matchup is 24-5. So give a big time salute to the boys for doing their parts defensively and locking and just crashing the boards. Josh Hart, amazing. By the way, Josh Hart was the Knick of the game, 20 points, 18 boards, 11 assists, 2 steals. This man, I mean, boy, we're going to talk about him being an all-star. By the way, if you just joined, this is This Week Inside the Knicks. These are the topics that we're talking about. So if this guy not even continues, I think because he's been putting up, this is his 6th triple-double on the year. This brother, to me, deserves a trip to San Francisco. But we're going to talk about that in a second. That is the flagship topic. We got a couple of different flagship topics, too, that we're going to talk about. Like I said it earlier. Also, we're going to talk about Towns' three-point shooting, if it's a concern to you guys. And we'll also talk about Mitchell Robinson. But let me see anything else from this game. Of course, OG Anunoby had 33 points. Salute to OG for redeeming himself on the offensive end. See, a lot of people got it twisted about OG. They don't understand that OG Anunoby, his job is defense. If you get this level of offensive output from OG Anunoby, 33 points, right? He had 30 in the first 3 quarters, of course, because it was a blowout in the 4th quarter. No need to go crazy there. But if he's giving you this level of offensive output, yeah, the Knicks the Knicks are going to be tough. Listen, guys, the Knicks is a really good team. Do not believe otherwise. Do not let these people talk you out of your spot. We are for real, right? And if you go to the standings, and I could do that real quickly, right, you can see where we are. I mean, this one was so important for a lot of different reasons. I told you a couple, but I'm just happy. I'm happy that we're playing at a high level at the right time, because the competition is going to get a little stiffer. Definitely. Especially tonight. Tonight's game is not going to be an easy game, but winning this last game against Sacramento put us in the 30-win club. Only 6 teams in the 30-win club right now, right? We're top 5 in point differential. I keep telling you about this stat right here, 6.3. As long as this stat stays around 6 and above, we're fine. There's no reason to be worried. So, yeah, this one was major for us. But OG Anunoby, man, if he's giving us anything on the offensive end, more than likely the opposing team is in trouble. As far as, this is another thing I want to talk about this game, the delay. There was a big-time delay in the 4th quarter. And I joked in the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server that the reason for this delay, or this delay was the reasoning behind why maybe the Knicks had fresh legs to finish the 4th quarter, because as some of you guys don't like Coach Tom Thibodeau, right? And we went, oh my God, we did 2 Knicks call-up shows getting to the bottom of Tom Thibodeau. And this honestly was a break from the usual Tom Thibodeau running the guys through the ground, I guess, running them through the mill minutes-wise. They got a 10-minute break because they had to fix the basket. And yeah, it just helped the Knicks continue, because literally Mikal Bridges had scored the first 5 points when we came back from the break. So, hey, it could be a little bit, 3 days rest off and then getting the 10 minutes in the 4th quarter. That could have probably made the difference for us. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat before I move forward. The Knicks are a juggernaut. Salute to you, Tendrell. That's a fact. The Knicks definitely are a juggernaut, and I'm just tired of the opposing teams or the opposing fans, or just Knicks critics, period. Even Knicks fans who are critics of this team kind of diminishing our light, because I don't think this is the time to do that. There will be a time if this team regresses, and trust me, I will be the first. I am the objective fan. You see underneath my name, I changed it to all my normal podcast people. I got the objective fan listed under my name. So that's all I am concerned about. I'm just objective, and I deal with what's in front of me. I can't worry about what's not here. All right. And I don't think you guys should worry about what's not here either. Let me see. By the way, if you just joined the stream, this is the podcast. Salute to you, Yuri. Yuri says, the Natural Defender is here. If you just joined the stream, this is the podcast This Week Inside the Knicks. We on episode 13. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications. And everybody, like the video, like my man On Dios would say in the chat. Make sure you liked the video. Let me see. Buzzer B says, according to Tankathon, we have the hardest rhythm. Yeah, we do. And I might, if I have time, I'll get to that. I do got an article on that. We definitely do. But I think they said Memphis might have the toughest. But we up there. We're right behind them. I was going to talk about the assists. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to skip the assists. Let me move forward, guys. Jump into some of these hot topics before we get to flagship, okay? Let me go back to I'll take the topics off. All right. So I want to start here in hot topics. Okay, now I'm going to come back to Hart. I'm going to start here. I'm going to do. So, and Yuri, this is kind of up the alley where we were last time on the Knicks call-up show. You know, being able to trust your GM makes life as a sports fan more bearable. This is actually a pretty good read. And I'm not like that. Okay. Basically, it was just saying that, you know, giving kudos to Leon Rose and the job that he's done. So I'm just going to leave this here and say, you guys who are critical of Coach Tom Thibodeau, right? We had somebody, and Yuri will remember this. We had somebody on the call-up show call in and say nepotism. I can't remember the brother's name that called in, but he was going in talking about nepotism and how it's bad, and you know Leon Rose shouldn't have hired his friend. You have to be able to trust your GM, and Leon Rose we trust. Okay, that's just what it is. If you're a Tibbs critic, you're a Leon Rose critic. Now, that may not matter to you, but you can't always point out the bad from Coach Thibodeau, but don't highlight the good, like the fact that he coached two of our starters to become all-star starters, right? He's putting guys like Josh Hart in position to have his name mentioned and questions asked whether or not he should be an all-star. Okay, so, you know, you got to be able to trust the process the way you have been, but we got to be all in on Coach Tibbs. I'm saying you may not like him, but are you a Knicks fan? And if you are a Knicks fan, then you got to be able to root for him to win. This is a good read, by the way. If you do got the sports, I do got it. I just don't feel like logging in. If you got the Post Plus, the Sports Plus on the New York Post, it's cool. I mean, if you're not a reader like that, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you do like to read, sometimes they do have some good pieces on there that you want to get. So, you know, it's only $5 a month. I just don't feel like logging in right now. Let me see. Karl-Anthony Towns goes far. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to give some more kudos here to our guys. Karl-Anthony Towns, his goals go beyond just making an all-star starter. And listen, one of the things I like about our Knicks is that these guys don't have egos. And if I have time, I'm going to get into the ego stuff too with Josh Hart. But these guys don't really have egos like that, right? Because a lot of people, they revel in the fact of starting as an all-star. It does a lot. It raises your profile. It really does. Being an all-star starter is a big deal, contrary to what a lot of people believe. Right. And this is what Karl-Anthony Towns says. He says, for sure, it's a huge honor to be selected to an all-star team. All-star selections are an amazing honor, but rings are cooler. So we'll try to do that. And it's super special to even be mentioned with names like that, man. Yo, first off, salute to Karl-Anthony Towns. To all the guys that say that the Knicks are not a championship contending team or we're far off or it's not this year. By the way, salute the Knicks will be chance 25-26 because he always kind of helps us remain focused that, hey, this Knicks team is qualified. Leon Rose made these trades because we do want to compete for a title. I'm just reading this to let you guys know that these guys are trying to win the championship. They're not just trying to compete just to, make the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's their goal. For him to even talk about championship when you're talking about something that is kind of like trivial when compared to it, to me shows the character that these guys have. High level character guys across the board. And I'm happy to have these guys on my team. I mean, there was a talk about Zion Williamson being on the Knicks. Could you imagine the nightmare Zion Williamson would have been if the Knicks would have got him in the draft? Man, we would be all of us on here would be like, yo, we got to trade Zion. We'd be complaining, oh, he's overweight. He's always hurt. I mean, the way we complain about Mitchell Robinson, imagine what you're going to say about a superstar that is just not available, that has not produced the way you want him to produce. So I think we're blessed to have these guys that we have. They said Towns wasn't, he was soft. I've only seen toughness. I have never seen any softness from Karl-Anthony Towns. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. Oh my God, salute to Keith Watkins in the building. How's it going, family? Let me see. Yuri, Eagles comment was blown up by the media. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And if I have time, I'm going to just, because we started, I did a show about it 2 weeks ago, Yuri. Not sure if you was on there on this podcast. And I led with it was my featured flagship topic. And I said, oh, that's cap. It's cap. I said that 2 weeks ago. This is why you need to subscribe, man. I be on the money. I read a lot. And when I first saw that article, I was like, huh? Y'all just making up stuff because I guess there was a gap in the schedule and they needed some things to write, especially because football, is hot right now, playoffs and things of that nature. Hawks versus Timberwolves tonight should be a good matchup. Does that Hawks game happen after the Knicks game? If it happens after the Knicks game, I'll watch it. Rockets beating the Celtics. I ain't gonna lie right now, y'all. The Rockets, they're the only team to beat OKC and Cleveland. I was saving that when I do my Rockets preview, but they're the only team. Listen to me. The Houston Rockets are the only team in basketball to beat Cleveland and beat OKC. And you can add the Knicks in there if you want, because I think we're amongst those teams. I think we're a good team, great team. They're the only team to do that. So the Rockets are for real threat. They do have their shortcomings, and I think that the Knicks could get them. Especially at home. And I think that because it's a revenge game on the revenge tour, I think we're going to get them. But the Rockets are a sleeper if you're sleeping on them. They're a good team, for sure. You can't count them out. Definitely. That's what I do, Keith. Games like that, Rockets and Celtics are the games that I watch. Pete Doug. Oh, by the way, salute to Pete Doug in the building. I disagree about Zion. We would have got better Zion because he would have been more health conscious. I disagree, Pete Doug. I don't think that you can be something you're not. And one thing Zion hasn't been. Now, could he become more health conscious? First of all, I'm a Duke Blue Devil fan, by the way. Salute to all the Duke Blue Devils. I think we're going to win it this year. That's besides the point. Bottom line is this. I want Zion to do well, but we got to keep it 100,000%. You see that name down there. I am the objective fan. The brother has not been a model of health. He's been the opposite, right? And I just think that if he can't lose enough weight and keep the weight off, or even if the weight is not the issue, so to speak, as to why he's getting hurt so much, the brother clearly has some health issues. And typically, right, when you look at a lot of stars in the league that are basically just superstar athletes, they don't last long. Like if your game is predicated on your athleticism, that's why Luka will, I think Luka, as long as he's healthy, he does get hurt too, but his game is not based off athleticism. Jokic, right? Their games is not based on athleticism. The guys who are not so reliant on their athletic talent, to me, will have longer careers. So you might get a couple of good years out of Zion, but clearly, I think it would have been a train wreck, and I'm glad we avoided that. Of course, at the time, we wanted Zion, right? But it is what it is. Let me keep the show moving. Good time. I like the time. I feel like we're moving very efficiently. By the way, these are the topics for the show. And in a second, I'm going to show you guys how you could celebrate the captain. But I'm going to get through some more of these hot topics. Let me see. So we talked about Leon Rose. Just to follow up, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Clearly, the Attorney General and the New Jersey Attorney General, Matt Placken, and New York's Attorney General, Letitia James, right? They all trying to get together to try to get Atlas USA and MSG together to work out a deal. And right now, if you guys watch the Knicks games, you see on MSG, they're saying that basically Atlas is taking the $10 that's supposed to go to MSG, and you don't get MSG, so you're giving them an extra $10 for nothing. So they're trying to not force these guys, but they're strongly suggesting these guys get together. Just to let you know, I just wanted to add on to this story. Been talking about it. Matt Placken, and so more attorney generals are on board with this. So maybe they get a deal worked out right now, because the last thing we know is that Atlas Communications, they got up out of there. They said, we don't want to talk. We good. And they walked away from the table. So that was the last update. And then we seen Letitia James, but now you got these other attorney generals getting involved. Let me see. Do I want to talk about the homestand? You know what? Yeah, let's talk about the homestand. Right. So look, right now, the Knicks subsequent 4 games starting tonight against the Grizzlies. Also the Nuggets, the Lakers, and the Rockets. Right. So obviously they had a little bit of a slow start, but they've been playing well. Newly dubbed All-Star starter Jalen Brunson said of the Kings, most importantly, we need to keep our consistency. Our mental approach has to be the same every single game. We have to be ready to go. We have to be, we got to be a dogfight when we get out there, no matter who we're playing against. That's a fact. Any given night, something special can happen, so we have to be ready. So these guys know that we getting ready to go on a very tough stretch. And Coach Tibbs, like we said on the Knicks call-up show, according to Josh Hart and the captain, he's the most prepared coach they ever seen before. So real quickly, I do want to pull up the stand that we're getting ready to go on so we could take a look at it. Now, I'm going to pull up the full schedule so we could see it. Now, while we say, we know that we played way more sub 500 teams this year at this time up until this point than we did last year. That's not a fact. It's not a debate. But I do think we have turned our games up, and I think that we're playing at a higher level. And look at some of the games. We know about the home game stand against the West Coast teams, right? Toronto is a tough game. We should win that game, but Toronto is not an easy match. Remember, they beat Boston, and Toronto honestly should have beat them twice. But I digress. Then you got Boston, right? Boston hasn't been playing the best basketball. I think they were 5-5 in their last 10 games. Indiana, again, you know Indiana's always a tough game. Atlanta's always a tough game. Though we're better than these teams. Chicago, a team that's had our number, right? So we got to get Chicago back. Then we got Cleveland. Then we got Boston. Then depending on which Philadelphia 76er team shows up, that might also be a tough game, right? The Memphis Grizzlies, again. Miami, I don't know. They ain't got Jimmy, but maybe Pat Riley will figure it out by March 2nd. Then you got Golden State, right? Then you got the Lakers. Even though Golden State might be the easiest game out of all of these games. I'm gonna keep it real. Clippers, Sacramento. Sacramento got energy because we beat them, so they're gonna want to beat us in their own home. Portland, that's an easy game. So far, based off all the games we read up until this point, tough games. Even the sub 500 games are tough, like Chicago, Toronto. Those are tough games, especially if Toronto has all their guys. Right, if RJ quickly be what they call them BBQ, if those guys worked out together and they got time in, this game could be a problem. So I'm not concerned because I feel like, and this is something I felt like throughout the whole season. I didn't get a chance to do my little unfiltered thoughts. Salute to all my channel members. You know I was doing the unfiltered thoughts. I got to bring those back. Also, I will post another basketball game. Look out for that too to all my members. But one of the things I noted with the Knicks by me just kind of like documenting everything that's going on with them, I feel like the Knicks really play to their competition, at least at the start of games. So like, even like against the only game I would say that we didn't would probably be the OKC game. Like we was just blown out the water since the beginning, right? They killed us in the first quarter, towards the end of the first quarter. But when you look at some of these losses, like I said, OKC, Chicago, we playing them tough, but then second half we kind of ran out of gas again. Let me see, Detroit, same thing, right? Same thing. So I feel like because the Knicks, like we kind of stay at our level for the most part, but except with a few, bad games, really bad games. We've been holding it down. So I think we'll be all right, man. Because right now, even if we go, how many games is left? Let me see how many games is left. Even if we go 500. No, not 5. Let's say if we could get 20 of the next, what's that, 38 games? 36 games? I think we'll be fine. We'll be right where we were last year. I want more. I'm just saying, guys, hypothetically, I'm not saying I want to finish that way. Of course, I would love to win 55, 60 games. I'm just saying we get 20 more wins no matter what. That's a good season to me, especially when you got all of these heavy hitters coming up. But I see the potential for us to finish 55, even 60 wins. And Cleveland starting to show chinks in the armor. Where's Nick 100 at? Are you on this stream, Nick 100? I stopped the show just to talk to Nick 100 because we kind of got into a little back and forth in the chat towards the end of the stream. He was bigging up Cleveland, and I said, "Yo, Cleveland, they showing some of the chinks in the armor. Next thing you know, they got 3 losses in a row, and they might get their 4th tonight." Just saying. Let me look in the chat, see what you guys talking about. Atlanta lost two times to Toronto. Facts. And Washington, but beat Cleveland, New York. Yeah, I mean, styles make matchups too, right? Just because that happened, that doesn't mean, we're better than them or they're better than us. It's just that styles make matchups. So when we're going up against Toronto or Atlanta, that's tough games, especially because, RJ and Quickly, they always looking to come for our head. Like anytime somebody got traded and they left when it was kind of messed up, yeah, they're going to be coming for your head. Oh, okay. I got some more kind of fun stuff just to show. New York City, we got to pop our collars sometimes, right? I'm not sure if you be catching it, right? When we catch some strays sometimes from people, criticizing the team or the city, they be like, "Oh, you New Yorkers, y'all think y'all all of that. Y'all think y'all all of that." Well, we got one of the top 5 jersey sellers in the league, right? Well, the team as a whole actually is top 5 in merchandise, period. Boston Celtics, right? Lakers, Knicks. So salute to us. And by the way, notice the Lakers got LeBron James. That's the biggest star of all stars. Boston Celtics got Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, finals MVP. Warriors got Steph Curry. I think he's the best point guard of all time. I don't want to debate that. So those teams have great players that are like big astronomical names. Now we got guys that got big names too, Brunson and Towns, right? But those names are not as big as those names. Could you imagine if LeBron James was on the Knicks, who would be number one? Just saying. So yeah, we gonna toot our own horns. We doing the thing when it comes to jersey sales. I thought I had the article. Hold on, let me see if I got the article here. Because Jalen Brunson also was in the top in jersey sales. I don't got that article for some reason. I don't know what I did with it. Yeah, but JB was also in the top. You know, he's getting his name up. I remember Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith said, "Oh, I'm more popular than any New York Knick. They don't got the star power." Well, guess what, Stephen A.? We got the star power now too. And look, we got to celebrate our wins, man. We've had a hard time for a long time struggling with bad teams. Now we got teams that are competing. Now we got teams that are championship caliber teams on a contending level, right? Of course, we didn't win the championship, but that's what's up next. And I talked about the schedule. And this is the article actually I wanted to get to, but here's some numbers behind the strength of schedule. Right, as of Thursday morning, of course that was last week, but check this out. The Knicks' remaining opponents have a combined record of 839 and 746, and that's a 52% winning percentage, the highest in the league. So we actually do got the toughest schedule. I don't know why they was talking about Memphis. The Knicks are 4-6 against teams with a winning percentage of 529 or better. Ooh, that's a good stat to keep track of. I might have to keep track of this stat right here, y'all. And 3-6 against title contenders. Now, how do you constitute title contenders? Are they saying teams with the 529% are title contenders? I don't know how they got that. But I like this stat right here. We're 4-6 against teams with a winning percentage. I actually tracked the stat the other day too, because I went a little deeper into our record against teams that are 500 and above. Let me see if I got it right here. Do I have it here? I could have sworn I wrote it down somewhere. When I get to the Knicks and 10 show, no worries. I will get deep into the stats. I don't see it. I could have sworn I did that. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you know what I calculated? I calculated our record against teams when we... So close games, like within 4 points. So we're 6-1. No, hold on, let me get it right. Yeah, we're 6-1 in games that are 4 points and fewer. So yeah, we doing our thing. And we're actually better in really close games than I thought we were. But overall close games, we're around 500. But in close games where we talking about 4 and under, when the game is decided by that, we're 6-1. But this is a cool stat. I might add that to my list right here and really see what we're doing against teams with a high winning percentage. But yeah, just to put some numbers to it, you know, it's all numbers. Now look, these numbers may not always hold up because, to be honest, Cleveland could be on the bad stretch, right? They could be on a downtrending stretch where they're not winning as many games. Right? Who else? I'm not sure about Memphis. Boston's been sliding. I'm not sure about. I'm not gonna put Memphis in there. We know Dallas. We gotta see Dallas again. We know that they have some injury problems. Derek Lively, I think they lost him for the season. Of course, Luka's been out, and we see them in March. I think Luka will be back in March though. So you just never know. I'm not concerned. Yuri says, will you do a call-up show? Yes, Friday, 10:45, Yuri, be there. This is the pod. By the way, before I jump into the flagship topics, because I do gotta get a move on it. We've been moving good with time. I covered all the hot topics. By the way, whatever topics I don't get to, you can find it all on the pod. On the website, thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, the blog website, and we can go from there. But before I get into that, I do want to take the time to show you guys shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com, we're getting ready to add some more merch in here. So by the time we do the next call-up show, I got another line of merch. But right now, we talk about the captain. This is the mug, Captain 11 mug. Go get yours now to celebrate the captain. He's a first-time All-Star starter, and I don't think it'll be his last time. And this man is deserving of the praise from Knicks fans. I'm happy that we voted for him. And hey, why not go get you a Captain 11 mug, a hoodie, sweatshirt. You got hats. I got this hoodie right here. I might rock this on. No, I think I did rock this on Friday. To celebrate the captain. But yeah, so get yours now. Shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. I got a 10% off on all merch right now. Like I said, I'm going to add more to this next week. Channel members, and I'll talk about channel members more towards the end of the show. You guys get an even greater discount at 20%. But check out shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com to see all the merch that we got there, y'all. Now, let me jump into flagship in a second. Let me see. Knicks will be chance says bring back the orange jerseys with the blue letters. Which jerseys you talking about? You talking about this? Are you talking about my merch, or are you talking about something else? I do plan on bringing that back though. The I bleed orange and blue. Not sure if you're talking to me, Knicks will be chance. But let me see what else you guys talking about. Yuri, if we got Cat and Mitch both fully healthy, we going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Man, shoot. I'm telling you right now, if we got a healthy Mitchell Robinson, we might go to the goddamn finals. Keith Rocket said he gonna try to call in late. Yeah, definitely. Friday, call up, y'all. The next call up shows is popping, y'all. If y'all gotta get on there. Oh, you talking about the NBA jerseys? Keep Ja Morant in check along with Bane. This to talk about that Memphis game. I'm curious to see how we're gonna defend Ja. Ja is a problem. He is a bona fide problem. You cannot double him. They're going to run a million pick and rolls. He's elite off pick and roll. And Zach Edey is not bad. You would think as a rookie he would be a slouch. Zach Edey is a threat off pick and roll. Jaren Jackson is looking like Julius Randle. That boy, I mean, he can create in the mid post, high post, taking dudes off the dribble. He's like a Towns at power forward. That's the way he plays. He doesn't play down low though. That's the one thing about Jackson that I feel like that's the next real level to his game, especially if he's going up against shorter guys. But I think OG Anunoby can take that challenge. I think, especially because Jackson is more face up. I think that holds well for OG because now OG just stays on the ball. He ain't got to defend the post. Pick and roll can be a problem. Now we got to run our pick and roll. You got to attack Zach Edey. Towns got to go for 40 tonight. Or not 40, 30. You got to attack Zach Edey. Zach Edey is food on defense. They try to protect him. They do run some sort of a zone at times. I can't remember how well they defend the 3-ball, but that might be an opportunity, especially if they're zoning and they're rotating and there may be some opportunities there. But I'm curious to see how they'll defend Jalen Brunson. They got this kid Wells. He takes on a lot of the tough assignments, and they put Jaren Jackson typically on the wing as a help defender. On the 2-3 zone, he's in the wing spot. So it'll be interesting. It's not impossible. Like, you can beat the Grizzlies, right? It's not like the Grizzlies are unbeatable. But I just think that I don't think we've seen a team like the Grizzlies this year where they got a bona fide power forward. I mean, the Minnesota is like a low budget Memphis Grizzlies. But Randle didn't really have that much effective games. I mean, he was solid in the first game, like from a scoring perspective, but not really within the flow of team basketball. But Jaren Jackson, man, he's not going to force nothing. He's going to do everything within the flow of the game. Then Desmond Bane can go up. Like, they got a squad. And they got a whole bunch of, my man Darkosaurus Rex me and him used to talk about the 6'9". They got a lot of 6'9" dudes over there. By the way, salute to Michael Dollar. Salute to you. I'm getting the flagship topics, y'all. Trade rumors. I'll come back. If I got time, I'll get into the trade rumors. Yeah. Salute to the Brooklyn game. Brooklyn game was cool. I was going to talk about the officiating. I'll see if I have time. Let me go on the flagship right now. All right, so I'm gonna start with the Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. And let me mute this video. I'm not gonna lie. I think that Karl-Anthony Towns 3-point shot might be compromised. Not that he can't shoot the 3 ball, but my hope is that his thumb, he feels more strength in his thumb and it's not going to compromise his percentage. But, and I have another article here too that talks about Towns. Yeah, this article right here talking about Karl-Anthony Towns' dominance goes far beyond 3-point shooting because that's not all he's doing. In fact, 3-point shooting is like, I would say it's a part of his game. It's like more of a sometimes. It's not really the crux of what he's doing. Because if we look at some of his stats, if I could pull it up here, hopefully ESPN won't let me do it. Okay, cool. So when you go to look at Towns is shooting less threes than he shot last year. He's shooting 4.8 threes. He's still shooting at a 43% clip. Salute to the big bodega, man. This guy is incredible. But so he's only shooting 4.8 threes and 16%. So he's shooting 16.6 shots a game, and he's shooting 54%. So he only makes 2 threes a game, but he makes 9 field goals a game. So 7 of his other field goals are coming by way of driving, maybe a 2-point shot, mostly driving and trying to get shots in the lane. So his dominance definitely to back up this article, and this is a good read too. Like I said, all the articles you could find in the link of the description as well. The blog post on This Week Inside the Knicks.com has all of these articles if you want to check it out. But as Hardy says, Towns threes are allowed, but in reality, he took 20 shots and only 6 were threes. I've been a part of way more nights against playing Towns where the threat of a 3 hurts you more than the 3 of itself. So it's not even just the 3 ball, it's the fact that he can always shoot a 3 at any given time. I'm honored, but that's the kind of mistake that I have shooting the ball, that you worried about me shooting. And when I do shoot, it makes it feel like I have 5 3-pointers in one. So that's good for our team, Towns responding. I'm happy about that. So in the wake of the thumb injury, the brother's still cooking even without the 3 ball. Let's say he goes down from 2 threes to 1.5 threes. I mean, the drop off won't be that bad. That's all I'm trying to say. I wouldn't be worried about the thumb. And the Knicks are not worried. So my man, Knicks 100, he doesn't really need surgery, right? We're not getting no indication of that. He said, also, I shot an air ball. He said, who rewrapped his thumb after the way we were shot. That's crazy. Salute to Karl-Anthony Towns. But I think he'll be fine. I especially if he don't need surgery and he's dealing with the pain. I don't even think he's on the injury report no more. I could check that right quick, just to fact check it. I know Hart was on the injury report, but Hart's gonna play. Anytime I see Hart questionable, I know Hart's gonna play. You never got to worry about Josh Hart. Yeah, see, he's not on the injury report, but Josh Hart is. Game time decision. Oh, Ariel's on the injury report too. I wonder what happened to Ariel. He closed test. All right, cool. So that's the Towns 3-point thumb. You can let me know if you guys are concerned about that. I don't know. Let me see. Keep Rocket says, I think we have to just make sure we don't let someone like Bane go off. Bane is a problem. Okay. Definitely, like Knicks will be champs, say, hit that like button and the subscribe button. I'm going to move on from Towns. That's one of the flagship topics. I want to talk about Josh Hart in this All-Star thing. Now, Josh Hart, and he doesn't believe he'll be an All-Star. And of course, he says it'll be an honor, and he says I don't pay much attention to it, right? I mean, it's cool if I was able to get something like that. It would obviously be an honor, but that's not for a guy like me. And Coach Tom Thibodeau says, I think is deserving too. I think he's really having a terrific season. That's a fact. He's put a lot into it. I think he's great for being recognized for the contribution that he's making, because when you look at his role, he's really starring in his role. Josh Hart is a star role player to me, for sure. And let's look at some of his numbers, right? Let's look at some of his numbers. And there's a reason why I'm saying that Josh Hart should be an all-star. And I'm going to show you guys in a second. Because when you look at the Eastern Conference, it's kind of bare. It's like the Eastern Conference is the bare minimum. When you compare it to the Western Conference, I mean, it's a lot more going on in the West. But Josh Hart, he's averaging 14 points, 9.8 rebounds. He's on the verge of a double-double. He's on the verge of a double-double. Okay? 5.7 assists, 1.5 steals, only 2.7 fouls, and he has a 2.9 assist to turnover ratio. That's fire. Salute to Josh Hart. Right? He only averages what? He only averages 2 turnovers a game. That's it. So, Josh Hart, he does everything. What does Josh Hart do? He does everything for this team. And like we said earlier, he has 6 triple-doubles. I think he's too shy of Walt Fraser's record for 8 in the season. Here's why to make a case for his all-star and potential, right? Josh Hart's eye-popping rebounding numbers continue at a historic pace. Look at this brother, 18 rebounds in the triple-double, right? Okay, 36 games remaining, right? The 6'4" Hart has a legitimate chance to become only the 4th guard in NBA history to record at least 10 rebounds per game in one season. Salute to Josh Hart. I think he can get it done. Check this out. So the 3 guards to accomplish it is this guy, Tom Gola. I have no idea who he is, but I did do some research. He played in 1957, 1960. He also was an all-star. One of the years, I think it was 59-60, where he averaged a double-double. He averaged 10 rebounds, 10-plus rebounds. Oscar Robertson, of course, triple-double in 1960, 1963. And, of course, Russell Westbrook. Salute to Russell Westbrook when he had, I think, 3 triple-doubles seasons. But if you notice something about all 3 of these guys, I'm not saying that Josh Hart is on their level. I don't know about Tom Gola, but I'm not saying Josh Hart is on Russell Westbrook's level, nor am I saying he's on the great Oscar Robertson's level. Of course, these guys are top 75. But the key thing to note is that they were all stars. That's all I'm saying. I think that Josh Hart, he's pushing a double-double. He deserves to be an all-star. That's my point. That's where I'm going with it. Okay, he's on a historic pace. Now let's break down the all-star reserves, the potential reserves, and I'm gonna do it by standings because I count winning. I know some of you guys don't care about winning like that. I count winning, and I think winning is what matters. I think winning is what makes you into an all-star and star in this league, especially if you could do it in the playoffs. Now, when you look at the standings, right? I'm just going to stick with the East. You got the Cavaliers. Of course, Donovan Mitchell's a starter. Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum is a starter. Knicks, we got 2 starters. Salute to us. You got to add the Cavs and Boston together to get 2 starters. We got 2 starters on our team. Yeah, I'm flexing. I don't care. Then you got the Milwaukee Bucks. Then they got a starter in Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Arguably the best. He could be argued the best player in the East for sure. And he probably has an argument for best player in the league, to be honest. Okay, cool. So that's the starters. Now let's double back. Let's say, and I'm gonna get a pen. Let's say you want to make Cleveland. Let's say you want to give Cleveland 2 all-stars. So let's give them 2 all-stars. Let's 2 more. So let's say you want to say Mobley and Garland, right? Okay, cool. So we got to get 7. Now, when you're doing the reserves, is broken down in a certain way. You get 2 guards, 3 forwards, or 3 big men, or 3 whatever they call it. 2 guards, 3 big men, and then the other 2 could be whatever, right? So if you get Garland as a guard and you get Mobley as a big, that's 2, right? Then you got a Boston. Of course, Jalen Brown's going to be in there. He'll be in there with the big guys, right? I'm not giving Derrick White an all-star. Sorry, I'm not doing it. If you want to give Derrick White an all-star, that's your list. I'm going to go to the Knicks. I'm going to skip the Knicks. I'm going to go to Milwaukee. I'll give Dame the all-star nod because they're top 4 in the East. Even though they started off kind of miserable, I'll get Dame in there. Pacers, I'm not taking Halliburton, y'all. Halliburton has been a disappointment this year. He's averaging 18 and 8. Yeah, I'm sorry. And the Pacers are 25 and 20. However, I will take Pascal from them. I will make Siakam. To me, he's been the best player on that team. I can't give you 2 all-stars and you're a 5th seed. Can't do it. Detroit Pistons, I'm going to take Cade. Cade Cunningham is an all-star. I don't care what none of you guys say. Now, Orlando got injuries, so I might, of course, Paolo and even Franz Wagner clearly would have been all-stars, but injury take them out of contention. Miami Heat, you could say Tyler Hero if you want to go with Tyler Hero. Miami Heat's a 500 team. Hawks is under 500. Sorry, Trae Young. You don't get in again because I reward winning. I'm going back to the Knicks, and I give Josh Hart that final spot. That's how I would get Josh Hart in there. Do you guys agree with me? So I got Garland, Mobley. I got Brown. I got Dame Lillard. I got Pascal Siakam. I got Cade Cunningham. And I got Josh Hart. Salute to Josh Hart. That would be my choice. I think Josh Hart could get in there. Because when you look at the records and the standings, the East is the bare minimum. I mean, it's the bare minimum, right? And like I said, if you're in the play-in, I can't, to me personally, I can't rate you as an all-star. I just can't. Yes, yo, Keith, I'm going to keep flexing, man. They don't like when I do that, you know what I mean? My people who are not New York people, they be like, why you always got to, yeah, okay. I'm going to talk my New York talk, man. It's our time. And when we win it, oh my God, it's going to be even more crazy. Let me see. Cat can get his points in a variety of ways. I want to see him driving the lane more and keep trying to draw fouls. Don't complain about no calls. Facts. I agree. I think all of them, to be honest, need to do a better job communicating with the refs. I don't mind at the end of quarters or like halftime or timeouts, you go talk to the ref. But I don't like the complaining to the ref. I don't think it helps. LaMelo Ball, Knicks will be champs. I don't reward losing. LaMelo Ball, his team is 12 and 30. I'm sorry. Any player, if I put any player from the top 5, if I put Dame Lillard on the Hornets, he'll average 35. If I put, who else we had up there? If I put Trae Young on the Hornets, even though Trae Young's not an all-star in my book, he'll average 35. Anybody could average 35 for Charlotte Hornets. They're trash. I'm sorry. You're 12 and 30. You can't be an all-star. Your team is 12 and 30. I'm sorry. Sorry, you can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm not built like that. Not built like that. I'm not going to give all-star status. Even Tyrese Maxey, his team is 17 and 27. There's no way I can put you in as an all-star. So that's my argument for Josh Hart. Will he make the team? Probably not. But I'm just showing you that a world exists where Josh Hart is an all-star, right? I was trying to get Mikal in there, but I feel like Mikal's defensive efficiency stats is not strong enough. And he doesn't, score enough points, right? So, like, he's not getting a double-double. Josh Hart, double-double. I showed you the only other guards to get 10 rebounds, who they were, and they all were all-stars. So that's my logic. Do remember, I had a full argument. So it's not just this. I named a couple of different reasons why. That's how I see the Josh Hart thing. Let me see how you guys feel in the chat. Ball before Siakam? No. Siakam, first off, you need front court guys. There's not even enough front court guys in the East because you can't put Paolo and Franz Wagner on there. You could go with Bam, but they're 22 and 22. Like, that's a joke to me. I feel like the All-Stars should be guys who are winning. Because if I put anybody on a losing team, they will have crazy numbers. To me, that doesn't make you an all-star. Are you carrying the team to the playoffs? Are you taking them to the next level? Like Cade. See, Cade, 23-22, but I know it's 500. But think about the way his team is set up and how he's beaten some good teams. He's in the top 6. Cade Cunningham deserves to be an all-star. Pascal Siakam, his team is top 5, right? 5 games above 500. How do you argue against Pascal Siakam? And you need bigs. There's only 3. There's only 3 of them. There's only 3 of them. You got, where I wrote it down there. Yeah, you only got Mobley, Jalen Brown. That's it. All the other guys you want to put in there is guards, but remember, there's a standard. You got to have 3 big guys, 2 guards, and then the last 2 could be whatever. So I threw the 2 guards in there. I do Josh Hart and Cade Cunningham, though Josh Hart technically can be a forward too. I don't know. The position thing is what it is. If you play any position between shooting guard and power forward, to me, you don't really have a real position because those guys are all over the place. You got point guards and centers most of the time, but then even sometimes you got centers playing. Power forwards playing center, but that's a whole nother topic. I don't want to get too deep. So how are you guys feeling Josh Hart? I made him an all-star. I compared him with the other 3 guys that did it. He's about to do it. I think Josh Hart will get 10 rebounds a game. He deserves to be an all-star. Mitchell Robinson. I'm going to talk about Mitchell Robinson, and then I'm going to get into the Knick of the Week. So Mitchell Robinson, as we shift gears, this is my 3rd flagship topic, okay? So he's losing weight. I think that this is a positive sign. Salute to my man Keith in the chat. He actually said it on the call-up show. He said that Mitch, remember the last time he came in at that weight, how dominant he was. I think that Mitch coming into the season slim means that he's really working really hard. And the fact that he's kind of quiet, though, he does his little Mitchell Robinson post at times, but for the most part, he's been pretty quiet. I think this brother's focused and he's ready to make a huge splash back into the lineup. And I'm not sure if I did a poll on this. If I didn't, I will do one tomorrow. I think that Mitchell Robinson, and you guys could disagree if you want, I think that Mitchell Robinson is the best addition we could add mid-season. I don't think there's another player mid-season that we can add that will be better than Mitchell Robinson, right? And this is what this article is talking about here. Mitchell Robinson trade. Now, you could trade Mitchell Robinson to try to get somebody of equal value, but because, as we read earlier on this podcast too, on earlier episodes, GMs are worried about his health. So that automatically diminishes his value on the trade market. So if you do want to trade him next year, let's say, you got to keep him and let him ball. So that way you could get the maximum value in return for Mitchell Robinson. But I don't think right now, if you honestly believe like the Knicks believe he'll be back in February, to me, it just doesn't make sense to trade him. Right. And his return does fix the bench depth because now we see Coach Tibbs has a 9-man rotation. To all the Coach Tibbs people in the chat, I don't like Tibbs. He overplays the guys. Yes, I think who played 40 minutes? Somebody played 40 minutes, but everybody else played within 30 minutes and was good besides the one player. Was that Bridges or Hart? I can't remember. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's playing the 9 guys. So now you know when Mitchell Robinson comes back, he's playing 9 guys, maybe 10. I doubt it, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. It could be 10. Mitchell Robinson, to me, fixes the size issue. He also fixes the fact that now he has 9 players that he can trust giving 18 plus minutes to. So I think we'll be fast. He says the one real path in terms of the path to shoring up the depth. He says, this is Brian Windhorst, the one real path to changing that, according to sources, is the injured center Mitchell Robinson, either in his return to the court after he's missed the entire season so far with foot and ankle issues, or by inclusion in the trade. So that's the 2 options. Which option is the best to you? I'm going to say you got to keep him because you're not going to get the value in return. Sorry, you're not going to get the value in return. And then a lot of us want to trade Mitch for like guards. Like, I don't know about trading Mitch for a guard or a shorter player. Like, I think it was Keith somebody said on a call-up show that there was a rumor that the Pistons would be interested in Mitchell Robinson for Stewart and another wing type guy. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to give up a 7-footer. I like Isaiah Stewart. He's tough. I might flip him for Precious, though I love Precious, but I might flip him for Precious because I feel like Stewart has that toughness, that dog. I feel like Stewart might be a Charles Oakley for you. I feel like, salute to all my 90s people in the building, right? I feel like you get Stewart, he might be a Charles Oakley. But I don't like him as a backup center. Like, I kind of want a real center to be the backup center or play next to Towns. Just so you could have another 7-foot option that can protect the rim. Now, Stewart definitely could protect the rim. He's tough as nails. He's not scared of nobody. He's like a Draymond Green, I think that Stewart is tough, but unless I'm going to expand my depth and I can get a 7-footer as well, that to me would make sense in a Mitchell Robinson trade. But honestly, I'm not trading. I don't think I'll trade Mitch. I think that he'll fit in perfectly off the bench and then also playing sometime next to Karl-Anthony Towns, sliding Towns to the power forward at times. I think that that's the best option, right? Not to start, but to shore up the bench because you're going to need production off the bench. Keith says, I definitely have a point. Young leading the league in assists. Young he's tough, but like I said, his team, that's the only problem with Young. His teams don't be over 500 when it's time for the All-Star voting. I can't put a team that's below 500 in there. The fact that Mitch is only making $15 million a year outweighs his injury concerns. That's a good point. Knicks will be champs. And also to add to that, he's only 26 years old. He's still young, I'm not saying that that doesn't mean you won't trade him. I just don't think trading him now makes sense. Keith says, I think he's coming back ready to silence the doubters. He's very social media savvy. He listens. Yes, he does. And I can't even follow him on my TOF on Fire page on Twitter. I'm following him from my other page, T Objective Fan. I'm not active on that page. But yeah, you got to go through a wait list to follow him. Ever since when celebrities got their page private, I don't know. Michael Dollar says, Josh, All-Star. I agree. I'm riding with you, Michael Dollar. Salute to everybody who thinks that Josh Hart could be an All-Star or should be an All-Star. Will he be? I don't know. But let me see. Ball gets in before Siakam. Nah. Ball's not getting in. Ball's not getting. Knicks will be champs. I don't think Ball's going to get in. But I could be wrong, But fan voting doesn't necessarily mean... I mean, his numbers is crazy. But they never really reward losing like that. Like they really don't. Let me see, 7:30. Okay, got a couple. Okay, we running short on time. Let me move past Mitch. Keep the comments coming. I always make that mistake. All right, so now we're gonna get to the Nick of the Week segment. Okay, drum rolls, please. This week's Nick of the Week is none other than Josh Hart. Right, salute to Josh Hart. Well deserving of the Nick of the Week. Of course, this is for the last 3 games against Atlanta, Brooklyn, Sacramento. During this stretch, he averaged 13.6 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. Damn near triple-double. The brother is balling, and he's the only player on the team that can have a good game or even a great game and not score a bucket. So Josh Hart, I mean, he's the reason why we have the number 2 offense in the league right now. His ability to be a facilitator on the floor, take Brunson off the ball, right? So to give opposing teams a different look. His rebounding is historic. He's within the likes of Oscar Robertson, Russell Westbrook, and Tom Gola. Even though I don't know who the hell that is, the bottom line, he is within the ranks of these guys. He's playing on both sides of the ball. He hustles. And if you want to see the full write-up on this, you can on thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. I think I put this in the community section where I actually give an explanation as to why Josh Hart, he stood out as the Knick of the week. And actually, this is technically his second Knick of the week in a row. And I can show you that because I didn't do one. A lot of you guys remember the podcast last week. I skipped a week because we had a losing record. So I don't support losing at all. If you have a losing record, I cannot give you the props and the praise. So this time we do have a winning record. So that's why. So Josh Hart technically won it 2 weeks in a row, but it's not because last week we didn't have one. So Josh Hart taking over the game right now. And like I said, we know Towns and Brunson are the best two Knicks. So on every night we could give them the Knick of the night and Knick of the week. But I give credence to how these guys play the game, how Hart plays the game, how Mikal plays the game, OG plays the game, to give them a fair shot. So like if they have great defensive effort, or if Josh Hart is dominating the glass, if Mikal Bridges, his shooting's on point and he's shutting the opposing guards down, then I'll give them more light than I would Brunson or Towns, right? Just so I could keep it fair, and I'm not just giving it to these guys every single week, right? Jumping the word in the street. How you guys feeling Josh Hart? Is he the guy who you would have gave the Knick of the week to? Or is it somebody else? The fact that Mitch is, let me see, I read that. Keith says, I think he's coming back ready to silence the doubters. He's very social media savvy. He listens. Okay, I read that already. Precious no longer has to play center. Facts. He can focus on power forward, thus allowing our win. Exactly. Thank you, Keith. And also, OG Anunoby goes to the 3. That's what I want to see, more OG at the 3. I think OG will be more dominant. And I think OG's strength, too, as a help defender, right, at the 3 spot. Because, you know, a lot of times, and this is what Memphis do, you'll notice it tonight, they put Jaren Jackson off of the primary defender to make him a help defender. And, you know, he's able to get steals. He's averaging more steals now this year. So maybe this will help OG Anunoby's steals go up. There's a couple of different things that they can do. So let me jump in the word on the street. And before I get too deep into it, I do want to share with you guys that we do have a channel membership. If you guys want to support and help the channel grow, all you got to do is hit the join button. And the channel membership comes with a lot of perks. And one major perk that you don't see listed here is that everybody who's a member on this channel, they get access to this Discord server called the Knicks Tape Madness. And in the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, we have a 24/7 Knicks chat where we talking the Knicks all the time, right? Me and my man Sam, my man Coach is in there, Jay Tapp's in there, and we have, you know, tonight while the game is on, we're gonna talk. We talk while the game is on. Also, we have a 24/7 NBA chat in there, and we have a couple of different chats in there. General chat. If something crazy happens in sports, we'll talk about it. So that's what the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server is. You'll get access to that when you join the channel. You also get, of course, the loyalty badges, which is cool. Members only live chats when I do that soon. Priority replies to comments. I get a whole lot of comments. I make sure my members get the priority reply. That's on stream, and that's just, you know, it could be a comment in the video or comment on one of the polls, right? Also, I have unique status updates, basketball. I've been putting my basketball content in there. I also been putting up this video series called the Unfiltered Thought series, which I will be bringing back, and more ideas. And also, I give my members a chance to shape the content on this channel by, you know, making, you know, requests as to what they would like me to do content wise. So you can do all of that. You get all access to that by joining the $4.99 starter Knicks fan package, right? And like I said earlier too, not only do you get the shout outs, but you get the discount on merch, a greater discount on the merch than you get now. And I'll repost the link in the member section for the members that's there, so they'll know that, hey, if you want to go support the new merch that's coming, or you want to get you a mug, right? This mug's a fire. You know, you could get a bigger discount on those items. Now, the hardcore Knicks fans is for the real hardcore Knicks fans, but you a gambler, man. You making parlays. You want to hear you want to pick my brain. You want to see what the parlays are looking like. So the hardcore Knicks fans, we got this thing called the Parlay Builder where we track stats each and every day. And we don't make picks every day, but because we track stats every day, we make good picks on Knicks night. So that's what you get when you become a hardcore Knicks fan. Of course, I didn't start the Parlay Builder shows. I will. But we also have a Parlay Builder show where we could actually do some research and make picks together. Of course, we'll connect more on other social media platforms, more member-only live streams, and more members-only content. I will be adding more to the channel membership. So all you got to do is hit the join button. You can become a starter or a hardcore Knicks fan. And, it's going to help grow the channel. Like you see, I made the change. I got the studio set up. The more you guys donate, the more I will continuously build up this channel. And now let me get into Word on the Street real quick. Now, Word on the Street is basically a program. Oh, by the way, I'm glad I came here. I love how when I come here, this is right here because this is the upcoming program, right? So everything that's going on with the channel, if you want to get all information about it, you go to the community section. The community section has everything you need. It has the upcoming schedule, right? So this week, of course, we had the podcast tonight, but then we got the Knicks call-up show on Friday. Okay, so be here Friday, 10:45 p.m. Knicks call-up show. Hopefully you guys are here, and we'll get it in, right? Call-up show is basically a show for the fans to call up and express how they feel. And there's no games this Friday, so I'm very looking forward to this Knick call-up show. Now, Saturday, we bringing back the live play-by-plays. We're going to do the Lakers game. And of course, this game comes on at 8:30 p.m. I think the game is on ABC. The Lakers game is on ABC. So anytime the Knick game is not on MSG, I do live play-by-plays because I don't like watching the game when it's on national TV. I love my MSG broadcast. So you definitely could watch the game with me. I watch on mute, you watch on mute. And also, the cool thing about the live play-by-plays, it will be a call-up show as well. So you guys can actually call up and state your opinions, halftime, timeouts, call up and let me know your thoughts. So that'll be February 1st, next Saturday. And then, of course, then we got the podcast next Monday, 6 p.m., same time, same place. The podcast will always be Mondays at 6 p.m. It won't change unless I tell you that we made the change. And then, of course, we got Wednesday, the following Wednesday. We got not this Wednesday, February 5th. We got the Knicks in 10 show. Salute to you guys if you watch the Knicks in 10 show. That's the show where I go in and about the stats. It's crazy deep dive. No game on Wednesday. So we're going to do a show Wednesday night at 9. Some of you guys remember I used to do level-headed Knicks talk on Wednesday nights at 9. So this is a chance for us to get back into the Wednesday night grind, especially when there's no game. So that's all for the schedule. As far as, and salute to Josh Hart again, Knick of the Week. That's cool. So I'm going to get into some of these polls, okay? I'm just going to do a couple. So last night, the Lakers defeated the Celtics, causing Boston to fall within 2 games of the Knicks in the standings. How confident are you that the Knicks can surpass the Celtics for the number 2 seed? Okay, we got 248 votes. And by the way, you can still vote on these polls, especially if it's not just game related, right? And I typically do evergreen polls. That's why I never really let them expire because they last for a pretty long period of time. I'm gonna say I'm very confident. I think we could catch the Celtics. Out of the 249 votes, we got 55% of Knicks fans saying that they're very confident. 33% say they're slightly confident. 9% said it won't happen, and 3% say they don't know. Like I said, you could go vote for these polls, and Knicks fans are pretty optimistic. When we win, you typically see more optimism for the boys. And our argument can be made that Josh Hart is the most consistent Knick. And this is kind of following up on what tonight's flagship topic has been. You can still vote for this if you want to, if you didn't vote already, right? Considering this point, should Josh Hart be voted in as a Knick All-Star reverse? I'm going to say yes. And 87% of Knick fans, 139 votes, say Josh Hart should be voted in as an All-Star reserve. And 8% said no. 5% say they don't know. So salute to the Knicks fans for getting that right. And then my final poll I'm gonna do. Oh, that's the final poll. That's the final poll. So that's all. And like I said, you can vote for these polls in the community section. Anytime you want info and insight, head to the community section because more than likely it'll be there. And I'm gonna wrap up with these power rankings and your comments. Let me see. Oh, salute to HRM. Thursday show was fire last week. So hold on, HRM the Great, was you on the Friday night show? I wonder if you were on the Friday night show because we made a decision to go from to just stick with Fridays, right? Thursdays, I like Thursdays too, but especially because there's no game. But we're gonna stick with Fridays for now, and I might throw in a Thursday show spontaneously. You know what I'm saying? But Friday is, is cool too. I'm not sure, but yeah, but we back on Friday nights though. Let me see. Keith Rocket says, oh no, I read that, and then Knicks will be champs. That's fat. Okay, cool. You guys are with me. So these are the power rankings because we got a couple of minutes, and then like I said, I'm not bleeding into the game, but this is ESPN, and this is via January 22nd. Okay, so you got OKC who took the #1 spot, like we said last week. We knew that was going to happen. Cleveland is on a big slide. Cleveland moved down to #2, and I think they might be moving down even more further. Then you got the Boston Celtics #3. Memphis Grizzlies #4. I'm not mad at this so far. I think the rankings is fair. Houston Rockets #5. Denver Nuggets #6. I'm cool with that. And they got us at #7. Remember, this is the 22nd. Next week, I think we'll be like top 4. Especially if we win the night. If we win the night, yeah, the next week's rankings will be fire. Because this came out before the Sacramento game. Okay? But I do think that will go up. Back up in the rankings. I'm not mad with ESPN, so we rank #7 on ESPN. And on Bleacher Report, I'm just going to scroll all the way down because I don't care about the 30 teams. So how we keeping track of the Bleacher of how we're keeping track of the power rankings, we're basing it based on ESPN and Bleacher Report. So I start from the top. I do the ESPN style. So, of course, OKC, they took the #1 spot. Now, this comes out Thursdays or Fridays. So, this is a day or two after the ESPN ranking. So, they got Cleveland #2. They got Boston #3. And Boston might slide. Houston #4. Not mad at that. Memphis Grizzlies #5. Not mad at that. Denver Nuggets #6. Right? Not mad at that because they've been playing good ball. And they got us at #7. So, but rank #7 both on ESPN and Bleacher Report shows me that that's where we belong. So that's all for the power rankings as well. Let me say goodbye to the chat. That's all for the pod, y'all. I'm not gonna keep you guys into the game. This was a great show. I definitely need to give a salute to everybody that supports the podcast on Mondays, every Monday at 6 o'clock. Like I said, this week inside the New York Knicks is aimed to documenting the Knicks literally 365, 7 days a week. You give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks. If you go to thisweekinsidethenix.com, it's the best way to keep track of the Knicks. I got every single week's news here, so you can literally keep up with every facet of the season, right? All the way back, so you'll know what's going on. This is the best way to keep track of the season, and I'm pretty much documenting every season going forward. So that's all for this pod. I'm going to give a salute to HRM the Great. Knicks will be champs 25-26. Keith Watkins, Michael Dollar in the building, Tendrell in the building, Yuri, of course. Salute to everybody that joined. Buzzer Beater made an appearance. Salute to JJP NYC. He actually called in on the call up. Salute to him. And salute to everybody that was watching that didn't get a chance to chat. I do appreciate all the support. And that's all for this pod. So until next time, let's go Knicks.